Good morning to one and all. My name is Shifa Mohammad Ayaz. I'm a third year electronics student, and today I'm going to teach you my fifth practical, that is design of a VI converter with grounded and floating load. So let's get started. The basic difference between a floating and a grounded load is that the floating load isn't grounded, so that is why the name itself indicates floating load V to I converter. As you can see in this circuit as shown over here. Similarly, for a grounded load V2I converter, the RL, which is your load resistance, is grounded. So that is why the name indicates grounded load V2I converter. So uh, basically this V2I converter uses a source transformation technique. But in this case, since we have an active element, that is op-amp, which is present over here in both the circuits, due to which the current flowing in this circuit is independent from this RL resistance. So the current is not dependent upon RL in both the circuits, which is derived over here in the derivation, in both the derivations. So let's study the practical aspects of this circuit now. So for a floating load, if we assume our input voltage to be 1 volt and load current to be of 4 milliamps, the R, the resistance which by using a basic Ohm's law we derive from the values mentioned over here, that is 1 upon 4 milliamps, would give me a 250 ohm. Okay. Now, as we have said that the current is not dependent upon the value of RL, so in this case I won't be using, it is not mandatory to use a 250 ohms for your load resistance. You can use any value for it. So in the floating load case, so let me launch my LT Spice and show you. Okay, so this is how my floating load looks like. V to I converter. Let me give this voltage source 1 volt. Sorry, this is the floating load circuit. So this is how your floating load circuit looks like. Input voltage is supplied at the non-inverting terminal. The inverting terminal is over here, which via which I have grounded the R1 resistance. But since RL is the load resistance over here, which is not grounded, that is why this circuit is said to be a floating load V to I converter. So let's see. So as we had said that the output current, that is the load current, is 4 milliamps from the theoretical value. So the practical value is much closer to it, that is 3.99 milliamps, which is approximately 4 milliamps. So which matches with the output derived earlier. So similarly we can observe the observation table over here. For the RL, I've considered it to be of 300 ohms and input voltage of 1, the current is 4 milliamps and the simulated current found out to be 3.99 milliamps. Similarly, when I give my input voltages 2, so I would be getting my current to be of 8 milliamps theoretically, and practically I'm getting it as 7.99. So the value won't be exactly same, but it would be closer to it. So similarly for 3 and 4 I've got these values, but to a certain extent when my voltage is too large, input voltage is too large, uh, certainly the theoretical and practical values won't be matching, so the practical values which will be observed would be dropping down at certain cases. So for a 5 volt I have achieved an output of 19.9, which is closer to my theoretical load current. Now let's move on to the grounded load V to I converter. So let's check that circuit out right now. So this is a V to I converter which is grounded load, but this is my RL, which is the which is 400 ohms, or in my case, and which is grounded, and all the other resistances are of 250 ohms. Since 250 is not a standard value, so I've taken two resistances of standard value and added them together to get a value of 250 ohms, and keeping all the parameters analogy to be the same. So when I have given 1 volt, so as an input to the non-inverting terminal, inverting terminal is grounded by the resistances, and this is your RL through which we need to observe the current. So let's save it and run. So the output is again much closer with to my theoretical values. So again we can say over here that both the values are matching. So let's see the observation table for the grounded load where RL is considered to be a 400 ohms. Again, as I keep on increasing my input voltages, we can see these load current to be approximately being equal to the theoretical values. But in cases like when I'm giving 5 volts, my theoretical output should be 20 milliamps. But as I said, due to an increase in the voltage and even due to the effect of resistance, the current starts dropping down. So here in the after this, actually a concept called as voltage compliance comes into the picture, where up to a certain amount of fixed ranges of resistances, you will be getting fixed amount of conversion from volt. You will be getting fixed amount of conversion of current for those specific values of resistances only. So since this circuit is not easy to practically implement, for this reason we have a special IC uh, created for it to give you very much precise values of V2I converters. That is, these standard values are from 0 milliamp to 20 milliamps or from 4 milliamps to 20 milliamps. Since the values of resistance has to be very much precise, for this reason this IC is used, and to get a very high and accurate values of current. So that's the reason you need to have an IC in this case. It's very hard to practically implement such type of circuits. So that's all my explanation regarding with this experiment. Thank you.